Making your first 100,000 is tough, especially on a modest salary. Most personal finance advice often sounds something like skip your coffee, cancel vacations, never buy new clothes. Basically, cut back on everything that brings joy into your life. And even if you did all of that, with an income of $40,000 to $60,000 a year, hitting 100,000 will take ages, they say. But let's shift perspectives. Figuring out how to make money and how to save 100,000 in just a few years is absolutely achievable, even on a lower salary. Today, I'll introduce you to 3 incredible stories of ordinary folks who did just that. First up is Emily, a young barista making $35,000 a year. Every night, she'd dump change into a jar and wonder if financial independence was a myth for people like her. Fast forward 3 years. Emily is traveling to the Bermudas, going out with friends, enjoying life, and yes, she just saved her first $100,000. How did she do that? Stick around to find out. This is part 2 of our mini-series. Part 1 explained why the first $100,000 feels so hard and why it's worth the push. In our next episode, I'll give you a clear, actionable roadmap to reach your goal even faster. Today, you'll see how 3 ordinary people, like Emily, who had to learn how to save money and in the end reached $100,000, each using their own unique path to unlock financial freedom. In fact, what these real-life stories show is you don't have to sacrifice happiness in order to hit your financial goals. So, let's get started. When you're learning about how to manage your money, nobody warns you that the real struggle often starts around the $25,000 mark. For most people, that's when progress suddenly feels harder than expected. Welcome to the Plateau prison. If you missed the last episode on why the first $100,000 is the hardest, the link is floating up here. Quick recap while we set the stage. First, we talked about the compound interest paradox. You may expect your savings to snowball, but in the early stages, the progress often feels painstakingly slow. Next, we discussed the comparison trap, which becomes especially evident when your social media feed is filled with friends showcasing exotic vacations and dream homes. The constant comparisons can make your steady progress feel pointless. That's when many encounter the quit point crisis, the moment that makes you question the entire effort. Some people fall into analysis paralysis, endlessly debating the perfect how to save money fast strategy and ultimately doing nothing at all. As if that weren't enough, the linear expectation fallacy leads you to believe that growth is linear and fast. In reality, the compound effect works exponentially and takes time. Another factor to add to the list is lifestyle inflation. As your income grows, your spending tends to rise as well. Nicer dinners, a slightly more expensive apartment, and so on. So, with all these struggles stacked against you, how do you break free? Up next, you'll see 3 powerful real-life case studies of people who escaped the $25,000 plateau, along with practical saving money tips. You won't want to miss what's coming. Let's revisit Emily, our 27-year-old barista. She loved her work, but with a salary of just $35,000 a year, even small financial goals felt out of reach, like running on a treadmill and never moving forward. So, what turned things around for her? First of all, Emily didn't accept this as her financial ceiling. Instead, she got creative. She started looking around her coffee shop and noticed an unmet demand for vegan pastries. So she started to spend her weekends baking custom vegan treats and selling them locally as a side hustle. This added an extra $500 a month to her income. But that wasn't the whole story. Emily also devised what she named a paycheck triage system. The moment money hit her account, it was instantly split. 20% was funneled straight into a high-yield savings account and 10% into micro-investing. Automatically, the remainder was set aside for essentials and a bit of enjoyment. This strategy ramped her savings up to $700 a month. When her savings crossed $10,000 after 1 year, she celebrated. For Emily, financial independence stopped being a dream and started looking like a plan. If you've ever wondered how to save money fast, Emily's story will inspire you. Combining a creative side hustle with a simple, automated saving system can dramatically alter your financial landscape. Next, meet Maya, a freelance graphic designer initially intimidated by investing. Maya was skeptical. She thought, investing's just for millionaires or math geniuses. To her, the stock market was like a roller coaster, unpredictable and scary. The breakthrough came when Maya started using micro-investing apps. Every time she bought a coffee or paid for parking, the app would round up her purchase and invest the spare change. Over time, the power of compounding began to show. Every dollar she invested earned returns, and those returns began generating returns of their own. But Maya didn't stop there. She built a simple system to save money, stretching her dollars by sticking to shopping lists and cutting unnecessary subscriptions. Those small adjustments snowballed, turning minor savings into sizable sums. She learned how to invest money in bite-sized steps and began saying no to impulse buys. The real win was Maya's mindset shift. She began to see every small budget optimization as another snowflake on her growing savings snowball. Saying no to what didn't matter meant saying yes to her bigger goal. Our third story is about Ethan, a high school teacher and father of two, who was mystified by the question, how to invest in stocks without messing it up. At first, Ethan felt clueless and didn't understand how to invest money the right way. So, he capitalized on his employer's retirement match. Think of a match like a buy one get one for your retirement. By simply enrolling in his school's retirement plan, Ethan gained an extra $5,000 over 2 years through employer contributions. Building on this, he set up automatic deposits into a low-cost index fund. An index fund is like a grocery cart filled with hundreds of companies. Index fund investments reduce fees while spreading the cash across a wide range of stocks. Historically, broad U.S. stock indexes have returned around 10% annually before inflation. He started small, then nudged his contribution up by $25 every few months. Thanks to the fund's diversification, he didn't have to worry about market swings. Ethan soon added another layer: accountability. Ethan and his wife held a 15-minute money talk each month at the kitchen table. They tracked progress, celebrated small wins, and adjusted their plan together. Teaming up on personal finance makes a difference. Research shows couples or friends who do regular financial check-ins are 70% more likely to reach big savings goals. The result? For the first time, Ethan felt in control of his personal finance and could see financial independence as a destination, not a dream. Okay, so what do all our heroes have in common? First, they automate savings, making it as routine as brushing teeth. In other words, they pay themselves first before touching a single dollar for bills or spending. Automation removes willpower from the equation. Secondly, they use simple apps and dashboards to track their savings, investments, and overall progress over time. They also celebrate small wins while reframing setbacks. When one saver missed a monthly target, she saw it as a halftime break, not the end of the game. Real progress isn't linear, and every step forward counts. The biggest mindset shift was linking each saving decision to larger life goals, transforming mundane money-saving tips into steps towards building wealth for vacations, real estate, and ultimately financial freedom. Name the goal, and routine saving becomes mission-driven. So, what's the bottom line? How do you actually go from $0 to $100,000? We'll break down a clear plan in our next episode. But if you're eager to get started now, here's a simple playbook to help you getting started. Step 1. Mindset shift. Build a healthy relationship with your money and start believing that $100,000 is achievable. Then, name your target, for example, $100,000. Pick a timeline and write it down. People who write down goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. Think of it like training for a marathon. You don't start by sprinting. You start by convincing yourself it's possible, mapping your route, and showing up each day. Step 2. Identify your wealth accelerators. Pin down ways to boost income. Then, understand your expenses to see where you can scale back without impacting your quality of life. There are 3 main avenues to wealth. Maximize your active income. You can either negotiate for a salary raise on your existing job or start a side hustle. An extra $400 per month can easily add $5,000 to your yearly savings. Calculate your monthly savings. List out your monthly income and expenses. Classify your expenses in essential, for example, rent, groceries, insurance, and non-essential, for example, subscriptions, going out expenses for drinks and food. This classification will give you a basis to calculate your monthly fixed cost. Your total income minus fixed cost is what you will be able to sustainably save each month. Save and invest. Don't let your money nap in a checking account. Every dollar invested in broad index funds and high-yield savings account could double over a decade thanks to compound interest. Step 4. Track the process and automate. Set up automatic transfers that whisk money into your savings or investment account before you ever see it. Pay yourself first and track your progress every month. Watching your savings grow can be remarkably motivating. Before we wrap up, let's take a step back. Every story we shared today started with ordinary people, just like you. No big inheritance, no insider information. What made the difference was persistence, smart personal finance strategies, and the courage to try something new. With each step forward, their financial snowball grew, gathering momentum to eventually break the $100,000 barrier. Imagine what it will feel like when you cross that milestone. Who will you tell first? How will you celebrate? If these people could save money and reach their goal, so can you. Now it's your turn to tell us. Which wealth-building strategy are you eager to adopt? Active income, investing, or budgeting? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this video was useful, give it a like. If we can do better, let us know in the comments as well. We are just looking for your honest opinion. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe for more empowering financial insights. Your honest feedback drives every episode, and your support truly means the world to me. See you in the next episode.